What the heck is up, you guys? It's your boy Ace, aka Animated Heroes, here back with another video for you guys. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Recently I actually picked up a couple of my older SH Figuarts and I was messing around with them and I was thinking to myself, man, I wonder what it would be like if this figure got an updated version or just an overall remake. With Tamashii Nations absolutely dominating the action figure game right now, I feel like it's a lot of figures that are actually overdue for an updated version, which is why I decided to make this video. That's what we're going to be going over. My top 10 figures that I think need an update. They're overdue. So you guys know how these type of videos work. Go ahead and drop a like for your boy. I would greatly appreciate that. That motivates me to keep making this content and bringing it to you guys. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into number 10. Now coming in at number 10 is none other than the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Z Perfect Cell. And the image I have on screen right now is the version that I think is the best. I believe this was just a premium color edition. I'm not entirely sure, but I feel like this one has the most accurate coloring to the anime. And I really love how vibrant this one looks in comparison to the first. Now, if you guys don't know, this guy did have 3 releases. You got the original, you have this premium color version, and then you did also have, I believe, an event exclusive where it was blue. That one was accurate to the manga. This is a solid figure still to this day, but does it hold the test of time? Some would argue yes, but I would say no, just because of the fact that the Dragon Ball line is just in a completely different universe at this point, man. They have really gone off, and this guy did great, especially with the accessories that he came with, like the Kamehameha effect. I still think a lot of that is really dope, man, but I would love to see an updated version of this guy. Maybe just him being a little bit more buff, maybe some better face plates, paint and sculpt work, they did great, but still, I would love to see an updated version of him. Now, where there is Perfect Cell, there is also Teen Gohan. The two of them come in a pair, in my opinion, and that is exactly why I had to put him at number 9. We need an updated version, non-battle damage, of Teen Gohan. Now, I know we do have the SDCC version, but at this point, unless you were collecting when that thing released, you probably don't have your hands on it. And again, the battle damage version was so good. It comes with a Super Saiyan head and a Super Saiyan 2 head, just like the original releases, but we want a non-battle damage version of him with an updated look. I feel like Tamashii Nations really needs to go ahead and drop this. Hopefully they get back into the Cell Saga next. They're already giving us Dr. Gero and Android 19, so maybe they'll kind of double back and give us this. But really this time, the main thing I want them to throw in is also a Kid Gohan head base sculpt where his hair is just black. I really want a base form sculpt for him as well. I'm not tripping if I gotta pay 60-80 bucks for 3 different head sculpts, but I really hope that they do that. This is one that I feel like is pretty much mandatory at this point. Coming in at number 8 is one I actually see possibly happening in the near future. With the upcoming release of SpiderMan 2, I do think it would be the perfect opportunity for Tamashii Nations to double back and give us a better updated version of the PS4/PS5 Spider-Man costume. Obviously, there are going to be a few tweaks to match the look from the second game that is going to be coming out, but I'm perfectly fine with that. It still has that dope white spider logo, those white gloves, that saturated red, and those navy blues that I absolutely fell in love with playing this game. The only thing I asked for is him to be a bit taller and to have the updated Spider-Man articulation. They have really slacked off on certain Spider-Man figures in the articulation department. Usually they're okay with the accessories, but we just gotta get the posability a tad bit better. If they do that this time around, this would absolutely be my favorite action figure of Spider-Man, my favorite 6-inch figure. I really need that because otherwise I'm just gonna stay like everyone else and hope that somehow, some point, Mafex will get the ball rolling, but I don't see that happening. Now, coming in at number 7 is one that I see coming rather sooner than later. With the revival of the One Piece line, I feel like it's pretty much mandatory they give us a Portkis D Ace figure. He is a fan favorite and he's just an awesome character. Now, if you guys even knew this figure right here existed, then you know what a bad figure is. It doesn't matter if it's by today's standards or even when this figure released. This was just overall a bad figure. It looked bad. It posed decently. The accessories were okay, but it was just a bad figure, man. And we've since gotten the Variable Action Heroes version. We've gotten the Sentinel version. And we see now what Tamashii Nations can do with One Piece characters. I think Ace is one that these days they would absolutely kill. So I'm hoping that we get this figure very, very soon, man. As you all know, Ace is my favorite character from One Piece, and Tamashii Nations could really do this character some justice. I truly believe that this would probably be one of the best figures in the One Piece line if they make it. I don't see this being topped by really anything. Now, number 6 is yet another character that I know for a fact we are going to be getting a remake of in the future. I know a lot of people are upset about the fact that we did get an event exclusive version. Some people just were not happy about that, and it's understandable. But again, guys, Tamashii Nations has to make their money in order to support future releases. They know that we want an updated Madara. These guys are not dumb. And with him being probably everyone's favorite villain, I know some people like Orochimaru, some people like Obito, but overall, I just know more Madara lovers. So with Tamashii Nations knowing how much people love this character, they are without a doubt going to give us a proper updated version of him, and I really hope that they do, because this one was kind of off. He had elements from the 4th Great Shinobi War and the 2nd Great Shinobi War, and if you're a fan of Naruto like myself, you know that some of the choices didn't exactly line up the way that they were supposed to. He had the open-toed shoes, but with the Rinnegan, he's supposed to have the more closed-toed sandals, and that's just, you guys know if you're a Naruto fan. But I hope we get more Rinnegan faces. I hope we get some of those really cocky Madara expressions, and I hope we also get some more reanimated expressions, even with him just having the Sharingan. Like, this is one that once they announce the remake, I'm going to be super excited for, and I'm telling you guys right now, don't miss that pre-order if we get it, because you will regret it. Coming in at number 5 is a personal want. I know most people at this point have already decided they are going to pick up the Mafex, and if you don't have that one on pre-order and you like this character, then you're kind of crazy. But you guys know, man, I love Batman. I am going to pick up every Batman release there is, and I just want an SH Figuarts of the Batman. It was my favorite movie of 2022 for obvious reasons, and I want a good figure, man, from SHF. They did so good in the accessories department. The sculpt work on the figure is good. Again, the legs were a little too thin. The mask was questionable, but there were some really good decisions with this figure, as well as some really bad ones. I think Tamashii Nations heard the critique, and I really hope that at some point they revisit this. I would love for them to do it before the second movie comes out, but that's highly unlikely. Even so, if they do decide to release another Batman figure once we get the second movie, I'll be welcome to it. You guys know it's SHF, it's Batman. That is an automatic pickup combination for me. Coming in at number 4 and 3, I decided to go ahead and group these two together because once again, they are a set. It is none other than the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Resurrection F, Goku, and Vegeta. Now, I remember when these figures came out, I was probably the most excited person in the world because I really love the look of Super Saiyan Blue. But looking back on these figures, they are not that good. First off, Goku, it has the old articulation, obviously, and this is probably my favorite gi for Goku. I'd really love to see this updated, and I know we have the Demoniacal Fit version, but Demoniacal Fit is not Tamashii Nations. I'd love to see their take on it. I'd love to see if they did anything different. I would just love to see what kind of choices they would make in terms of giving us an updated version of this costume. I think that they could kill it, and I really hope that at some point they double back, despite these costumes not being relevant anymore. Now, in terms of Vegeta, Everyone said it. This was the best Vegeta figure when it released. And of course, by today's standards, that doesn't really mean anything. But back in the day, man, this Vegeta was popping, bro. This was my favorite Vegeta. And honestly, I liked this Vegeta more than Goku. The only issue I had with this figure was that it didn't come with cross arms. But again, just like Goku, this is probably my favorite costume for Vegeta. He just looks so dope in black. So I hope at some point they will give us these, but I don't see that happening, sad to say. I guess I can hold my breath for Demoniacal Fit, but we know how they are with their releases. Now, bringing you guys yet another Vegeta figure for number 2, it is none other than the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Z Majin Vegeta. And at the time this released, I thought this was a dope figure, even though I was able to pinpoint obviously bad decisions from the jump. First off, this is not a true Super Saiyan 2 hair sculpt. This is really a Super Vegeta hair sculpt. And I don't know, man, I don't really care for this sculpt. I'm gonna be honest. It kind of looks like a lion's mane to me. It's supposed to be a lot more narrow. There's supposed to be a lot more detail and line work in the hair. Not to mention, the expressions were good, but some of them were missing. We didn't really get those angry Majin Vegeta. We definitely should have got the final explosion expression. We should have gotten one where his pride, all of those, man. Majin Vegeta probably had the most expression we got from Vegeta throughout the entirety of Dragon Ball, to be honest. I wouldn't mind if they tweaked maybe the Dragon Ball CGI Vegeta, added some battle damage, gave him more accurate coloring, sculpted some more veins. There's a lot of decisions they can make, but I really want another Majin Vegeta, man. This one just didn't do it for me. And the main issue I had was that very thin lower torso. I don't know why they went with that decision. It just made the proportions look so off. Like, Vegeta's arms were big and his waist was just small. And as we all know, in Dragon Ball Z, muscle was everything. So that was just kind of a very weird decision. But yes, this is one I really want to see again. And if they do it right, it could easily be my favorite Vegeta figure. Now, being who I am, y'all know I had to throw yet another Naruto figure in here for number 1. Now, there were several decisions I could have made. It could have been Jiraiya, even though I think that the Jiraiya figure is dang near perfect. It could have been Rock Lee. It could have been Gaara, but no. I had to go with the 4th Hokage himself, because this figure could have been just amazing. And at the time it released, I was in love with it. But again, it was another one I was able to point out the flaws from the jump. This figure was entirely too small, man. Really, that was the only issue I had with it. It was just a little too small for me, and standing him up next to Naruto, it just didn't look right. Now, if you stand him next to the 3.0 Naruto, it just definitely doesn't look right. And so I need another 4th Hokage. They can literally give this guy the same accessories, maybe throw in a couple of extra faceplates, more serious faceplates. He came with a couple of happy, so we're fine with that. But just something to spice it up a little bit. Maybe do the jacket differently, do the arms differently. I'm not entirely sure. It'd be dope if they made it to where he could take off the 4th Hokage jacket and we could just have him in the Jonin outfit. That'd be sick. I don't care what they do, man, but I really want another Minato figure. The 4th Hokage is just, he's that dude, man. If you watch Naruto, he's that dude. So yes, I had to put him on the list. I need an updated version of this character. Tamashii Nations, if you're listening, drop it. So in case you guys didn't know, I actually came up with a lot of these ideas based on a poll I did on Instagram. I just had a bunch of people comment figures that they thought needed an update. And the funny thing about it is that I pretty much had named all of these myself. Now, I meant to give all of those people a shout out, but I ended up getting busy yesterday and I lost that story post on Instagram. So I'm sorry to all of you guys I was supposed to shout out. But thank you to everyone who participated. And I just find it funny that there were so many like-minded decisions, like Perfect Cell and even some of the Vegetas, the Madara. Pretty much everyone agreed on the same thing I was thinking in terms of making this video. But if there's anything on the list that you guys didn't agree with, feel free to let me know in the comments. If there's anything you thought should be on the list, I definitely want to know about that in the comments, because again, man, Tamashii Nations is killing it these days. Everything that they're releasing is just top notch. And so I think when it comes to the quality improving so drastically like that, it's always good for them to go back and maybe revisit some products that weren't that great. That would make the consumers really happy. And of course, that would cause us to pretty much continue buying their products. So yeah, I hope that all of these figures do get remade. I do see a lot of them potentially happening in the future. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this video there. It already went on a little bit longer than I wanted it to. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If so, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Make sure to hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I upload new content. And last but not least, follow me on everything you see listed in the description below to keep up with my activity outside of YouTube. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe wherever you are, and bye.